true, true,
True.
Yeah. Let's go.
True.
Yerp. What is good? What is good with y'all? How are y'all feeling? We got Queso in the building early. Y'all know what that sound is. That is a tray ball. How y'all feeling? How you feeling, Queso? Crest in the building early. What is good? What is good? Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to the lurkers. I know we got some new folks joining us this morning. If my voice sound crazy, it's all good. Yeah, I know we're going to push right through that. We're going to push right through that. How are y'all feeling this morning? It was a long-ass weekend. Long-ass weekend. And if y'all were tuned in, then y'all know this weekend we accomplished something big, which was the 2 longest streams that I have ever done. Saturday, I streamed for 12 hours. Friday, I streamed for 12 hours. Saturday, I streamed for about 10 hours. 10 hours. We were at TwitchCon. TwitchCon from Thursday to Sunday. Your voice chopped? Yeah, it's all good. Listen, y'all give y'all creators some grace if they going live for y'all today. First of all, I think Twitch is acting a little funny, but if y'all got y'all folks going live today, make sure y'all give them some grace because people been turning up this weekend. People were in TwitchCon, people were at Vegas, you know what I'm saying? People were working. The seasons are changing. It's getting cold. You know, we got tornadoes going on. We got storms brewing. It's a lot going on. So give everybody some grace, right? Hope you enjoyed your time in Vegas. Anytime you go to Vegas, it's like mandatory for you to just put at least something down on Black 8. Even if you don't gamble, it's like if you staying at a hotel or if you just passing through going to a restaurant, it's like you got to stop at a roulette table and be like, all right, Black 8. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the table, you don't want to put at the table minimum. You know what I'm saying? Unless you got it like that, but give it a chance. You never know what might happen. Interesting story that one time I was walking, we was in a casino after one of my friends had gotten married. And this was literally the day of his wedding. So we were like, all right, we were celebrating. We went to his reception. Then he was like, yo, I'm not done. Let's go out. A bunch of us went to the casino. We were dressed in tuxedos and everything. And I'm like, yo, everybody pitching some dollars and we're going to go in and we're going to put it all down on this number. We did that. And the number hit. And we broke bread and had a great night. But anytime you walk through a casino, at least anytime True walk through a casino, I got to put something down on Black 8. I got to. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to everybody who had a great weekend. I know I absolutely enjoyed TwitchCon. And y'all know the vibes. It's Monday. So we have to start off our week just focusing and what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word I'm looking for, chat? We want to manifest wealth into our life. And in order to do that, we have to pay attention to the money. We got to see where the money's going. You feel me? I would be remiss if I didn't also start off the morning with giving a shout out to I am Trinity J. I am Trinity J, chat. Today is her birthday. Shout out to Trinity J on her birthday. If y'all haven't checked her out already, it is I am Trinity, TrinitiJ. She is going live twice today for her birthday. So y'all make sure y'all go support that woman. Go make sure y'all support Black creators. Show her some love. Shout out to Queso going hard already. Jeez. The day just started and Queso said, listen, we're not here to play around. We're winners. We're winners, chat. A hype train. Hey, look, I guess hype trains they want to act right today. Shout out to Queso. I really do appreciate that. I appreciate that love, man. I appreciate that. You gotta make sure you're paying attention to where the money is going. Shout out to Solo in the building. Solo was definitely locked in this weekend as well. Yo, let me hop into some of these lessons learned real quick. So all that troubleshooting we did, so them nights where y'all were on here and y'all were telling me, yo, this is going on with your audio. Yo, this is going on with your live stream. This is going on with your IRL. All those little troubleshooting sessions all came together in one beautiful moment, and we knocked out a 12-hour stream on a Friday in San Diego, California, amongst some of the biggest streamers. If y'all were locked in, y'all saw we ran into a bunch of folks. I gotta say, yo, we ran into Agent. Y'all know Agent be dropping hella gems on how to be a successful streamer, and us being able to run into Agent and us having our shout out to my camera woman. I'm still figuring out how I want to properly give her a shout out because she absolutely did her thing. She made me feel big time, and it was amazing. She was on it, chat. W's in the chat for the camera woman. W's in the chat for Queso, giving out them subs to the community. Listen, all those troubleshooting sessions were not for naught, right, chat? Those sessions definitely came in handy. First lesson learned, chat, is, first of all, let me tell you how many people complimented me on how good my stream and audio looked. And also the fact that I was using my DJI Osmo Pocket 3 to actually stream. You know what I'm saying? That camera was putting in absolute work, chat. Work. Putting in absolute work. That's the DJI for y'all. That camera was putting in work. So the lesson that I learned, right, was I would had to use, so my official setup, right? Let me talk y'all through this real quick. So in terms of the app that I was using, I was just using the DJI Mimo app, right? So I'm going to walk y'all through my setup. And if y'all haven't checked out the VOD, make sure y'all check out the VOD because I ran into a lot of people. And then I'm going to post my Instagram too so y'all can actually check that out because I posted a couple of pics on my Instagram of some of the people that I ran into, right? But let me tell you how to set up. So I use the DJI Mimo app, which is the app that lets you tap right into your DJI camera. It doesn't have to be a Pocket 3, but that's the one I was using. So I used the app. And one of the lessons I learned before I went to TwitchCon was in order to make sure the stream is working properly when you're not on Wi-Fi. So I purposely did not connect to the Wi-Fi. Did you use the Rode mic too? So I use, and I'm gonna break that down for you too. And I'm gonna show you. So I use these. I use the DJI mini mics. The mini mics. And part of that session, y'all saw they tried. I had Stream Elements trying to help me troubleshoot at 1.2. Shout out to Stream Elements. We're gonna have to tap in with them for sure. So I had the Osmo Pocket 3 connected to the DJI app. The lesson I learned before TwitchCon was, listen, if you're not on Wi-Fi, you need to have your phone's hotspot enabled. If you have your phone's hotspot enabled, you can connect the camera to your phone's hotspot, and then it will stream that way. That way you could just use regular old phone service to stream. That is what I wanted to do because I didn't want anything to happen with the Wi-Fi at the convention center that would interrupt my stream, right? Because I just knew there were going to be hella streamers there, which there were. A lot of streamers there, a lot of people live. I thought Friday was packed. Saturday was packed in that place. Got the Osmo Pocket 7P. Shout out to that. Yeah, shout out to making those upgrades. So that was the setup. Now here's the other part. When you're using the DJI Mimo app to do the live stream, and again, appreciate Queso for those subs. Shout out to Queso. Right? When you're using the DJI Mimo app, Michael's in the building. Shout out to Michael. He was going crazy all weekend in the chat. We had a great time. When you're using the DJI Mimo app, it has to stay on the app. You are allowed to leave the app for up to, not at, but almost up to 30 seconds before it ends your live stream. So what did I do, chat? I just avoided leaving that screen altogether. But what that meant was, how do I now read my chat? How do I interact with everyone? Because that's my biggest thing. I need to be able to interact with the chat and see what's going on. First of all, let me tell you, that is also a lesson learned. I've already been interacting with my chat, and not everyone does that. But if you do not interact with your chat, you will miss out on a lot of opportunities, because I'm literally walking down the hall one way. And this agent was our first encounter. That was our first actual meet, right? I don't want to call it a meet and greet. That's the first encounter that we met a huge streamer, and it was thanks to the chat. The chat was like, yo, I'm locked into agent stream, and he's literally walking down the hall right where you're at. So they was like, go to this section. Go to section B. Shout out to WAP. He said, go to section B. I'm like, bro, I'm in section B. So he was like, yo, you got to find him. You got to find him. So I'm like, yo. He said he with a crowd of people. And he actually, when I saw him, he wasn't with a crowd of people, right? So I said, all right, that's where we had to stream snipe. So I said, all right, if we're going to find agent, let me just go to agent stream real quick. We went to a stream, and I said, oh, he's here. He's on the other side. So I walked on the other side. He was right there, chat. Right there, chat. And just listening and communicating with the chat and interacting gave us that opportunity. So shout out to the chat. And we were hyped up too, because being able to do that and listening to, what everyone was saying and really participating and going back and forth, man, we had a great time. But that brings me to another lesson learned, which is I had to have another device to access the chat. So my camera woman, again, shout out to the camera woman, right? She allowed me to just use her cell phone. So she said, listen, we're locked into TwitchCon all weekend. You can just go ahead and log into my cell phone, and we put our shit on Do Not Disturb. Shout out to Shaw in the building. Shout out to Shaw in the building. It was absolutely an epic weekend, right? So yeah, that's another lesson learned. We needed two devices. We needed one to actually read the chat. Now, here's a workaround, because not everyone was able to have what I call an elite setup, right? That was a makeshift IRL backpack that we created, which was awesome because they actually didn't allow backpacks in there, chat. They know everybody had IRL backpacks that they use, and they were not allowing backpacks in there, which is crazy. So you had to have another setup. And a lot of people were streaming just from cell phones, right? I noticed some of the larger streamers, again, they did have they had camera people, first of all, and they had their little setup, which they didn't require a backpack. But your everyday streamer was using their cell phone, right? But the good thing to that is they could just put the overlay on. And when they put the overlay on, they they were able to still see their chat that way. So that was a good thing. And real quick, Shaw, so as many opportunities as I could, I tried to, at least, even if it wasn't on camera, I tried to mention most people who come through and support my live. Cause we're mighty, but we're few at the moment. So any opportunity I got, I was name dropping people in the chat. So I'm gonna tell y'all specifically when I name dropped Shaw's name when she wasn't around. So there was when we did the block party, we were unable to stream. Some people still sneaking streams. I wasn't about to do it. I captured some good moments, but when they were still some people walking around advertising their stuff, right? And the time that instantly Shaw came to mind is there were 3 people and they were representatives of StreamYard, right? And they had a crowd of people and they were telling people about StreamYard and they was giving people a year of StreamYard free. And I was asking them, and it was like, have you ever used StreamYard? I was like, have y'all ever heard of Shaw Love 80? They was like, no, we haven't heard. I said, well, Shaw Love 80 is the one person I know that puts people onto StreamYard. And I was like, I'm gonna have to check y'all out. I said, because she was using it to do like this multi-stream type of thing. And I said, oh, that was a collaborative thing we were able to get on. And they were like, oh, that's awesome. So there's a link. And I need to try to get you that link, Shaw, in case you don't have a year free of the StreamYard. But shout out to StreamYard. But any chance I got, I was trying to name drop people. I swear I was. So yeah, the biggest lesson learned, chat. The biggest lesson learned, especially for me. So the DJI setup, right? And listen, even if it's they only give the 1 year free, because I gotta make sure I check I got hella pages open from the weekend. If I got a year free sitting somewhere, I'll make sure you have it before I do. But the biggest lesson learned for me, chat, and somebody confirm if y'all were live and I haven't got a chance to watch that part of the VOD back, but I hope I caught it. So what I learned is that on your hotspot, and I streamed for almost 24 hours at least over this weekend, you can run out of hotspot data. And while I thought the Wi-Fi was glitching, it may have been a combination, because I did see a lot of people like, oh man, what's going on? And when they were trying to reconnect to stream, I saw a bunch of DJI cameras available for me to connect to. I'm like, sheesh, all these cameras, which let me know that other people's cameras were disconnecting. So there was a 2-part. I think the Wi-Fi and everything was acting up a little bit, but I don't think that was the biggest issue. The biggest issue was I reached my limit on my hotspot data, which was 50 gigs. I like I said, I had it on Do Not Disturb, but later in the evening when I turned my phone back on, I started getting notifications and pop-ups and stuff like that. And it said, on Friday, I had received a message that says, oh, you reached 75% of your capacity for your hotspot. Once you reach 100%, the data will drastically slow down. And I think at 4 p.m. is when we hit that. And I think if you guys were live, y'all saw that my stream kept cutting in and out. So if y'all see I have a bunch of VODs after 4 p.m. on Saturday, and they're like 2 minutes long, 30 seconds long, I didn't give up. I kept going even until I got to my hotel. I was like, I'm not a quitter. I'm going to keep going live. And even if it keep dropping, I'm going to keep going live until we're done. So that's what I did. But somebody confirm if you were there, if y'all saw me get punched by One Punch Man. Shout out to Trinity J in the building. I told y'all she's streaming twice today. It's her birthday. Happy birthday, Trinity J. We love you. We support you. Happy birthday. Everybody should feel hype on their birthday. She in the chat. So if y'all haven't checked her out, I told y'all earlier, she's right there. Go check her out today. She's gonna be lit. She's gonna be lit today. Shout out to you, Trinity Day, for coming through, supporting us. Yes, y'all show some happy birthday love. And hold up, my voice is sore. But yesterday on her stream chat, y'all get ready to clip this. She specifically said, there is not anyone in here that is brave enough to get on Discord to sing happy birthday to me. My singing is shit, but we are live and we got, what we got, chat? 500 people in the chat? All right, listen. Sip of coffee real quick. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Trinity J. Happy birthday to you. Shout out to Trinity J. Shout out to Trinity J in the building, chat. And you know we're going to tap in later, too. You already know. First stream is at 11. I thought I saw you go live. You might be live right now, but I know the times you mentioned is one is at 11. The other one's in the evening, chat around 9 p.m. So make sure y'all tap in with her. We are talking about lessons learned. So yeah, that data. There were 2 One Punch Men at TwitchCon. The first one, I know y'all saw that. I walked past them. I said, listen, I don't want to make you uncomfortable, but you are dressed as One Punch Man. I promise you, I will not sue you or anything like that. But will you punch me? Dude looked me in my face and said no and walked away. Bro was like, no. How you going to dress up as One Punch Man and not be willing to punch people, chat? Shout out to the raid train. Y'all already know the vibes. We got Queso in the building. He been here, and he is our current hype train conductor. Shout out to that boy, Queso. Listen, we saw another One Punch Man, and he was about that life. I said, bro, I'm a big dude. Like, again, I don't want to make you feel uncomfortable. I am live. I'm going to say it on my live stream. I will not sue you. I promise you that. But would you mind just punching me? I don't know if I caught that footage. Hopefully I did. Because I told you at that point, I think our live stream was cooked. But he said, yes, I will. And he wound up and he punched me. I said, yes, thank you. At least I can say I got punched by One Punch Man. We thought we got it on the live, but we should have also got it on camera too. Just, at least a picture. But, you know, it is what it is. Shout out to Ronnie in the video. So, yeah. Okay, so Trinity, while you're here, listen, I apologize in advance. All right. But I made this sound real quick because I knew at some point you would come through and I have to ask you this question. You may not like this sound. I know that. You may not like this sound because specifically on your stream, you said, please do not make this sound. And I did it anyway because I just listen. All right. So here's the sound. I'm going to play it for you. All right. Listen, I will delete the sound immediately. First of all, I shouldn't have said that because nobody would even know where the sound came from. But anyway, here it go. Right.
You're dealing with an eater here.
Did the sound play? Did the sound play, chat? Did the sound play, chat? Are we having technical difficulties?
Nigga, is this your first day on Earth?
Oh, hold up. What the hell? Okay, delete. Delete. Delete.
Nigga, is this your first day on Earth?
All right, technical difficulties. The sound came through. Okay. That is a 2-part sound, by the way. That was hilarious. We're talking about pizza, chat. We're talking about pizza, chat.
A big eater.
Let me know if you want me to send that to you. I'm guessing the answer is no. But shout out to you for your birthday. Ronnie in the building. Later on today, chat, and we're about to switch up because, again, it is Money Monday, so we got to lock in. But later on, I plan to show y'all all the swag that we got And I thought about a lot of you guys too when we were collecting that swag. We have to show y'all the swag. And there's some of you who I have to get your address because I got to send you some of the swag. Michael, send them to you. Okay, I'm going to figure out how to send them to you. And I'm going to get you those. She giggling. Chat, we got a winner. Listen.
Nigga, is this your first day on Earth?
It is not my first day on Earth, chat. You feel me? Shout out to that. Michael, I definitely got to get your address because we're going to get you. So let me know which one. Can I keep one? Can I keep one? You know, y'all know me. Y'all know I like to follow the rules.
A big eater.
You feel me? Shout out to that. So yeah, I'm gonna show y'all all the swag later because it's like, I mean, I got like 6 or 7 shirts. It's a bunch of shit. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that was a lesson learned. What was another lesson learned was, those business cards, chat. Those business cards came in absolute clutch. When I tell you, when people were like, yo, how can I tap in with you? And I just was like, I don't know if I have any on me at the moment. But yeah, those business cards came in absolute clutch. And me and other people were pulling out our cards at the same time, like, You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Ronnie for following Trinity J. Y'all know the vibe. We all got to support each other. Came in absolute clutch. But what some people had were the badges. And they had those badges that look similar to this, right? And I'm going to find who actually was creating them because I have their information and I'll drop it in the chat it probably won't be this second, but once I figure out who's actually creating them. But these badges right here, chat, the hello, my Twitch ID is, they were creating these, but this is just the sticky one, right? They had the official like 3D printed ones and it was allowing people to tap their phone to it. And when you tap your phone, it drops all their information in your phone and takes you right to their Twitch and everything else. That was just amazing. Follow. Yeah, everybody go ahead and follow Trinity J. Y'all already know the vibe. So that was another lesson learned. If you're going to show up to any convention, make sure you have a way for people to tap in with you because I tapped in with a lot of quote unquote smaller streamers as well. And some of those smaller streamers, we actually had conversations. Like some bigger people like Nina Daddy and Senna and Agent and all those folks. I mean, it wasn't realistic for me to sit there and try to have a full conversation with them. I did have a good conversation with Deshay. If y'all saw that meet and greet, that was a good conversation. But some of the smaller streamers, they're the ones that's going to really be able to give you some time. So when I was tapped in with them, it's difficult for them they're not going to stop their live stream to input your information into their phone. So having a way that they can tap in with you, I think having both. If you can have a tap badge and or a card, at minimum a card, I thought that was a great way because people was able to just boom, tuck the card away and then get back in later. Shout out to my boy D-Lo, right? So the official D-Lo, I'll get his actual name, but he was another streamer such as myself, newer to the platform, but still we grinding our way up. And he was live streaming. He can't stop his live stream to collect my information in his phone. Gave him my card. He tapped in. Chat. We hung out on Friday. We hung out on Saturday. We hung out at the block party. Yo, we were vibing. We were absolutely vibing. Shout out to Black Vibe TV in the building. Y'all already know the vibes. I see all y'all sneaking in. Shout out to the lurkers entering the chat. Make sure y'all shut that door behind y'all. We want to keep the riffraff out. But yeah, so that was another lesson learned for us. How you doing, Black Vibe? Hopefully you had a good weekend. We're just giving some lessons learned about TwitchCon. Some other lessons learned is you have to be respectful of people's like space. I think that actually worked out for me because I'm not a person that can naturally run up on somebody, no matter how big they are, right? Because people are still normal people, chat. I don't have it in me to just be like, yo, come here, sign this. You know what I'm saying? Here's a pen. You know what I'm saying? Trinity J, give me your signature right now. I'm not that type of person. I will use the opportunity to try to meet you and at a minimum get a picture with you, because at the end of the day, like, an opportunity is an opportunity, right? Because that's what it's all about. You have to take advantage of the opportunity. I knew for a fact I wasn't going to be able to just get all the agent's time, right? He got 20,000 plus people watching him. You know, I'm not going to say he won't, but every now and again when he's on the move, he's not going to have time to stop and talk to every single person. So you have to recognize that. One of the situations, I'll give you a good example of why you need to just be yourself. Senna. If y'all saw that encounter with Senna, that was a very organic encounter with Senna. And how that happened, chat, was not me running up to her. Because we saw it. We said, yo, Senna's coming through. The chat was like, yo, Senna's coming through. She was coming through the walkway. And I'm like, oh, she's coming right through here. And when she come through, I'll talk to her because it should be fairly empty. Wrong, chat. When she came through, she had a crowd of people around her. And True wasn't just about to dive in the crowd and be like, Senna, you know what I'm saying? So I just laid back as I do. And I was in the background. I was chilling. And I was just waiting. You know, if your opportunity's there, it's going to come, chat. So I sat back waiting, right? And I'm going to tell you how the encounter went down. I sat back waiting. And I'm talking. I'm still chatting people up around me. One dude was like, yo, it's crazy. Like, people forget they're normal people. And I said, that's a fact. And I was talking to another dude to my right. I said, man, he said, you just sitting back, huh? I said, yeah. I said, I would like to meet her, but if the opportunity doesn't come to meet her, then that's cool. But I'm not about to bum rush her. I don't want to disrespect her space like that. That's exactly how I approached it, right? Tell me why, chat. I had no idea who I was talking to. And he was like, man, you a real one. He was like, yeah, because that's my baby girl. I was like, it's your baby girl? He's like, yeah, Senna's my daughter. I was like, Senna's your daughter? He's like, yeah. He was like, come on, let me introduce you. And that's how I met Senna, chat. That's how I met Senna. Her dad introduced me. And then, so I was chopping it up with her dad. And I'm like, yo. I was like, I appreciate that. He was like, yeah. So if you saw my pictures that I posted on Instagram, that's where you see him dapping me up, because he was like, yeah, man, you're a real one. And then later on, off camera, and it might be on camera because I streamed the whole time, I was asking him like, yo, you gonna be at the block party? If you are, we can tap in again. And he was at the block party. And we turned up again. And I have a video that I didn't post, but yeah, we was in a little dance circle getting it in, but we were turning up. It's one separate from the stuff that I posted, but yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's why you have to respect people's space. You know what I'm saying? That's a W to the wild. But yeah, applaud for anyone who's able to respect people's space, because I mean, we're normal people too, right? Even though we're trying to grow as streamers, it's really difficult to just be like, yo, I'm gonna run up on you, because listen, chat, and I appreciate that dope story. Cool story, bro. In the hotel I was staying in, it was actually weird. And some people's streams, I almost felt like I had to stop watching because it felt a little weird for me. I'm not gonna lie, because some of the streamers were staying in the same hotel as me, chat, and they were streaming from their hotel room. And as I was kind of sitting back trying to get ready for the evening or winding down, I'm watching the streams, but it's like from a room that looks exactly like mine. I was like, yo, that feels weird as hell. It just felt weird. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, be yourself, chat, but also recognize people are real people. And they either going to talk to you or they're not, right? They're going to talk to you or you're not. I just thought of an idea. Put a QR code on the back of your car so they can scan it and it will go straight to your Twitch. Did you think of that idea? Shaw, have you not seen my card, Shaw? Have you not seen my card? I don't know where my card is at. My card is somewhere. Let me see if I got one in my wallet. Yeah, on the front, it looks like a social media. And on the back, it absolutely has the... Oh, here we go. Look. I don't think Shaw seen my card, chat. So there's my card, right? There's my card. Actually, let me do this. Let me swap real quick, because this may be a little clearer. So there's my card, right? So y'all see how I had the True Keyman. Looks like a social media page. Looks like an Instagram page. I got pictures of myself on there so people know what I look like. And then on the back, it has, not only does it have all my socials on there, so it has the Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, but then it has the QR code. Yeah, you ain't noticed that QR code? Yeah, that QR code. And even if you scan it right now, it'll take you straight to the live stream. And if y'all want, so I got this off of Zazzle. I'm not a gatekeeper. Zazzle, Zazzle.com. They have a bunch of templates. So notice with this card, I actually paid an extra like $2 to get the corners cut off my card. I really wanted it to mimic a smartphone. So I did drop the extra like $2 to get the corners cut off. So I love the way they came out, and they absolutely came in handy. They came in handy, chat. They absolutely came in handy. So shout out to that. Y'all love them transitions. But yeah, I've been rambling, and I'm definitely going to ramble because it was a great experience. But we do have to tap in. It's 9 o'clock. So we're going to switch gears real quick. Because y'all know, listen, in order to be able to afford stuff in the future, you got to pay attention to what is absolutely going on. True, you saw my suggestion above. Facts. You know what I'm saying? I took it from the future and took it back. You know what I'm saying? This was me on a computer, fucking typing it up. Like, what is Shaw thinking about? You know what I'm saying? Let me steal all her ideas. You know what I'm saying? That's how it was. You feel me? Definitely check them out. But they have different templates. That specific template was created by a woman. I believe she's in either Taiwan or Dubai. Yeah, hella sound effects. She's in Taiwan or Dubai. And yeah, she was locked in. I used her template. One last thing before we transition, because y'all know we have to tap in to our CNBC and see what is going on with the world and the economy. Hate to be such a, he had to get serious on us, but I got to teach you guys. Every Monday, y'all know if y'all lock in every Monday, and this is the part that Queso was waiting for, I'm going to teach you guys a little bit about investing and how you go about it. We started from the ground up, and I'm taking y'all all the way to the advanced level. If you want to know how True is able to afford all the random things that you may see around me, is because I am an investor, amongst other things, but as time goes, you will learn who I am. But one last thing before, what was I going to say? What was I going to say, chat? I was going to say something. See, when you fucking talk too much, that's what happens. It'll come to me. But let's lock in real quick. So I keep telling y'all, every time y'all lock in on Monday, look at the breaking headline on CNBC. White House economic advisor Hassett says shutdown could end this week. If y'all don't know, the government does start their new fiscal year, CNBC. The government starts their new fiscal year on October 1st. What day is it, chat? It's October 20th. If y'all been following, then y'all know if the president doesn't put his pen to paper and give this country some money to operate, the government shuts down. So why is this so important? Because today, chat, today, the government has been shut down for 20 days, whether y'all realize it or not. And today makes a significant day because it is a day where a lot of government agencies actually run out of money. So this headline is super important because it says the government shutdown may end this week. Bro, if the government does not put pen to paper this week or in the upcoming future, people will not be able to work. The 20 days flew by. And I know Trinity J was watching because her birthday is on the 20th day. You feel me? Today, the government is going to run out of money. And part of that is because Trinity J about to run it up. You feel me? Now back to being serious, chat. We got to be serious. Listen, a lot of people may be going home today and they're not going to know when they're going to log back in, right? They don't know when they're going to log back into their jobs. This is another reason why investing is important, because you don't know how this stuff may affect you, right? We call this our Christmas bar because it's only going to be two colors. It's either going to be red or green. And right now we're sitting in pre-market. What does that mean for all of our newcomers? The pre-market is the activity that happens in the stock market before it opens to regular ass niggas. Disclaimer, again, disclaimer. I am not licensed. I am not certified. I'm not a financial planner. I'm not an accountant. I am just a regular ass dude. Do I know this information? And do I know where they're hiding the information? I might. But this is for entertainment purposes only. So I'm telling y'all here, anything I say, anything I said in the past, anything I say in the future about finances or investing, you have to do your due diligence. Don't just trust true. You don't know me like that. But this is our rainbow chart. So the rainbow chart is going to tell you what's happening in the pre-market. So right now we see up, 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 down, down. That means the Dow futures, S&P futures, and NASDAQ, which is going to represent all of the companies across the United States and the economy, are pretty much overall as a sum doing well when you look at the indices, right? Regular ass ninja. You know what I'm saying? So oil's down, U.S. Treasury's down. We kind of like when the Treasury's down with a caveat, right? Because the U.S. Treasury represents interest rates. And when interest rates go down, chat, what does that mean? That means more money in your pocket, more money available for you to give people subs, more money available for you to buy milk and eggs because the shit starts to go down in price. When interest rates go up, they're going to charge you more. They're going to charge you more on gas. They're going to charge you more milk, eggs, bread, all of that. So it just costs more for you to survive off the same shit you bought last week, chat. That's what that means. But stock futures rise ahead of big earnings. It's a big earnings week. Do y'all recall that I told y'all at the beginning of each quarter begins earnings season? Normally around the middle of the month, right? So around the 15th. But most people aren't going to report on the 15th if it goes right into the weekend. But that don't mean they won't either. So what are our quarters, chat? The beginning of the first quarter is what? January. And in that quarter, January, February, March. Then we have the second quarter, April, right? April, May, June. That's the second quarter, right? Then what's the beginning of our third quarter? July. Then you go July, August, September. And then the beginning of our fourth quarter, chat, October. So the beginning of the quarter starts earnings season because they give you quarterly earnings. These are publicly traded companies, so they have to let you know what they're doing with the money that you're investing in them. And it's important for you to read this stuff because some of these companies, listen, not all companies, chat, not all companies, but some of those companies be fucking scamming. If you think regular people be scamming, companies be scamming. So you got to read some of these earnings reports. If they do these earnings call and they're like, well, we did this, we did that, it's real ambiguous, chat, they might be scamming. So to start off earnings seasons, it's normally the banks, right? So let's get into some of our headlines. The reason why I always bring y'all back to CNBC, because CNBC, if you start your week off here, the headlines kind of give you an idea of how the week is going to play out. Not saying there are not going to be any breaking news throughout the week, but it gives you an idea of some of the things to look for. If y'all were following me while I was at TwitchCon, if y'all were watching live, y'all know the CEO of Twitch, right? Dan Clancy, who's working with Meta, right? All these billionaire moguls are working together. They're in cahoots, right? He's working with Amazon, who we have a headline about here. He did say you'll be able to live stream from the Meta glasses. Chat, if y'all thought I was on my worst behavior before, wait till y'all see me pull up with Meta glasses. Y'all probably not even gonna know I'm streaming from my Meta glasses until I hit y'all with a Superman and bring up a mirror or something and like, yo, we cooking. But let's look at some of the headlines and make some assumptions or our own determinations. Y'all know we don't read the articles here live, but we do make assumptions. So the first one, Amazon Web Services outage hits major websites. What we know so far as recovery begins. Amazon Web Services, chat, they provide web services to a lot. Look, Amazon Web Services outage hits airline websites, disrupting check-ins. Listen, This is why I got to pay attention to stuff. Because some of y'all might be trying to fly back from TwitchCon. And if you trying to realize like, oh, why can't I check in? Bruh, Amazon Web Services is down. Do y'all see how this correlates to real life and how if you pay attention to this, you know where to put your money at sometimes? You just got the metas for your boys. Yo. Let us know when the footage or if you going live, if the wedding happened already, yo, we got to see that. That's going to be fire. You're really helping you be able to stream aside from the content. Yo, we gotta tap in the queso chat. He got the meta glasses. He about to be showing off. He definitely about to be on his worst behavior. Trump calls for Ukraine to be carved up. Yo, carved up is crazy. Yo, shout out to our president. We give a shout out to every president, regardless of what they represent. But this dude is a straight up savage, bro. Yo, he's an NPC. To be carved up after a tense meeting with Zelensky. How can you refer, bruh? Chat. How can you call for a country to be carved up? That's insane. That is nasty behavior. Anyway, cost and chaos continue to test resiliency of U.S. auto industry. I told y'all before, carved up is absolutely wild. If y'all not pay attention to the market, combustible engine vehicles, right? In cars that take gas are going to be cooked in the future. Because California already told y'all before. I don't know if I mentioned this, but California said, listen, you're not going to be able to buy a gas car in California starting in 2025, 2026. So if you see gas cars disappearing or slowly you're seeing more EVs, is because they're telling people like, yo, we signed into law that if you want a gas car, you're going to have to leave the state. You can't buy one here. So pay attention to the auto industry. Because again, we talked about it last week. Like, why is a brand new Honda $50,000? Fuck is you on? Do you need that? Like Honda, do you need that? Seriously, Toyota, do you need that? You know what I'm saying? Y'all out here charging the common person 50 racks for a Honda? Bro. I remember sitting back when I was a youngster looking up cars. A youngster. Bro, I'm old as shit. I was looking at cars and it'd be like $50K. That'd be a car you never be able to afford. Now you're telling me your regular standard, your regular schmegular ass sedan with no bells and whistles is costing people $50K. They're out of their fucking minds, chat. They absolutely need that, Trinity J. And listen, I don't know if y'all know, but we had a whole back and forth, right? When we were talking about Tesla and chat. I don't know if y'all seen the news, but Tesla now came out with a standard version, which is some of those cars, some of those Tesla vehicles have cloth seats in them. They don't have the light bar across the whole front. It just got the two standard headlights. But listen, them tax credits still popping. Let's keep it moving. The alleged sweeping betrayal of trust that rocked Zion's bank and spooked Wall Street. I have to assume that them using the word spooked has to deal with Halloween. But Zion's bank, I don't know, chat. I don't do business with Zion's bank. Not saying you don't, but read the article for yourself. Kering agrees to sell beauty unit to L'Oreal for $4.7 billion as Dos Mil trims debt. As Demio? What is Demio? Anybody? Trinity J do makeup. You heard of Demio? We definitely heard of L'Oreal. L'Oreal be cooking up products, but the one thing they don't be cooking up is them melanin colors. You feel me, chat? Oh no. Shout out to L'Oreal, but you'll get a bigger shout out when them colors start looking a little more brown. You feel me? But that's not for me to decide. Shout out to Riri and everybody who owned Riri Woo. Here are Monday's biggest analyst calls. I tell y'all this every week. Anytime you see this, it's going to say NVIDIA, Apple, Tesla, Alphabet. It's going to throw in some random shit, Progressive and more. Progressive got to chill the hell out. It's a good company, but Y'all supposed to be saving people money on insurance, and them hooking up devices to people's cars. And the moment you brake too hard because somebody cut you off, they want to raise your rates by $2 a month. Like, listen, miss me with the bullshit. All right. Stock futures rise ahead of big earnings week. I keep telling y'all that. If you are an advanced trader, listen to me closely. Do not fuck your money up playing around in earnings. This is not your fight, chat. This is not your fight. You may get lucky sometimes, but more often than not, y'all ever heard that only 98% of, or not only, but typically about 98% of retail traders fail or blow their account up? It normally happens during earnings week. Don't do it. Don't think, yeah, this company's going to run up, right? They're going to run up and I'm going to be rich tomorrow. Don't think that, chat. Play your part. Stay the course. Don't get involved in this situation that's going to happen. You think they're going to run up, but it's going to be somebody who's going to come in and they're going to mess your whole account up. I promise you that. It doesn't matter if it's Nvidia, if it's Apple, Tesla, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how good they are. They can always go down during earnings. Earnings don't choose sides, chat. This is an advertisement. Stock, we already read that one. Activist inventor Jana Partners takes stake in medical device maker Cooper Companies. We're going to have to check out what the medical device is. I told y'all got to always tap in with medical devices. I mentioned something before that y'all never knew exists. Not everyone, but the Promethean mist. Y'all know what the Promethean mist is, chat? The inhaler, right? A lot of people just found out by tapping into my lives that there is a marijuana inhaler. There is a marijuana inhaler, chat. If you didn't know, look it up for yourself. Look up the details. X lawsuit versus Apple and OpenAI stays in Fort Worth, Texas. Judge suggests they move there. What the fuck? Let me read that again. And let's just talk about this for 30 seconds. X lawsuit, right? So Elon Musk. When we see X, just think Elon Musk versus Apple. Right? Versus Apple. Why is X in a lawsuit versus Tim Cook at Apple? Elon versus Tim Cook, and all this behind closed doors. They're probably eating dinner together, wearing their favorite outfits and shit. Apple and OpenAI. OpenAI been doing business with absolutely everyone, chat. We talked about it before again. AMD. Just look at your computer setup. Right now, if you're in front of your computer, just look down, start looking around. What do you see? What do you see in front of you, chat? Do you see Toshiba? You see Samsung? You see Scepter? You see Nvidia? You see AMD? You see IBM? What do you see? You see an Apple logo? You see Red Dragon? What do you see, chat? Type in what you see in front of you. Tell me what label is in front of you. Somebody type it in. You see one of them. I promise you see one of them. Sony. What y'all see in front of you, chat? Nexigo, y'all see something. Whatever you see in front of you, type it in the chat. OpenAI is doing business with a lot of semiconductor manufacturers. If you don't know, semiconductors, your AMDs, your Nvidias, right? Nvidia in the graphics card. Shout out to Nvidia graphics card. If you didn't know this, Nvidia is one of the companies with the most millionaires. Your regular employees are millionaires, chat. Yeah, OpenAI, right? So semiconductors are in basically everything, right? Not just in graphics cards, they're in everything. So OpenAI is making a huge play and tapping into everything. So again, back to this headline. How you have a lawsuit with Elon Musk, who's running some of the biggest companies, right? A list of some of those companies, if you're unaware, right? X, formerly Twitter, Tesla, manufacturer of EVs and robots and all that other stuff. You have the Boring Company, right? SpaceX. I mean, the dude is absolutely hammering down on everything. He was a part of PayPal, right? Versus Apple, who's basically on the verge of creating a monopoly when it comes to certain things like tablets and phones and stuff. So you telling me they're versus each other and the judge says, okay, this lawsuit stay in Fort Worth, but also y'all should move here. Fuck is you talking about, Judge? How are you out here? Yo, y'all, this is why we pay attention to this stuff, chat. This is absolutely why we pay attention. How you got Elon Musk sitting over here, right? Chat, you got Elon Musk, who's a fireball, right? No. Let's switch him up. Chat. We don't want to do that. Let's be more representative. You have Elon Musk, who is electric, right? I don't know what's wrong with me, right? You have Elon Musk, who's electric, and then we'll have Tim Cook, who's green, right? So you have two people who are against each other, and you have OpenAI, who is basically an innocent bystander. Like, hey, I just want to do business with all y'all, right? So you got these two here, and you telling me this is y'all judge? Nigga, he's one of y'all. What the hell's wrong? This is who y'all got judging y'all? Nah, chat. They scamming, chat. I keep telling y'all they scammers, bro. They're absolutely scamming. They scamming, chat. How the judge talking about, listen, I know that I'm judging the lawsuit between y'all, and we haven't read the article, read it and judge it for yourself. And he talking about, why don't y'all just move here? Like, nigga, y'all the bridge bike gang? What the fuck? Anyway, let's move on. This online banking stock is set to jump as credit outlook improves, says TD Cohen. I see a picture of Ally, so I'm guessing they talking about Ally. Open a huge factory in Arizona too. Listen, Elon's beef with OpenAI is that they were supposed to be a nonprofit. Twitter's supposed to be a damn nonprofit, ain't it? That's why they went public, because it was like, yeah, we're going to get away from nonprofit. Then he went back and took Twitter or X off of the publicly traded platform, off the New York Stock Exchange. Who knows? They're all for profit, right? Because I'm with Elon then. Because how is OpenAI a nonprofit, but it costs money to use ChatGPT? Shout out to NVIDIA for the factory. Come on, chat. Y'all listening? That's why it's important to read these headlines. And some of them you want to get and dive deeper into, because listen. AI headshots are changing the way job seekers are seen and get hired in tough labor market. Bro. AI headshots? No, that's cooked. From fraternities to women's soccer, this under the radar t-shirt brand is popping up everywhere. It says comfort colors. Okay. Just put it in the title. Why y'all spamming? Stocks making the biggest moves pre-market. Cleveland Cliffs, I don't know what that is. Liberty Energy, Hologic, and more. China's growth hits 4.8%, its weakest in a year. You're still growing though. You're still growing. As investment sees rare and alarming drop. They gotta cut it out. They're fear-mongering. As Anthropic tries to keep pace with OpenAI, it's also taking on the US government. They're all in cahoots, if you ask me. OpenAI is just everywhere though. Like, bro. Keep bringing us the heat though. Because them graphic cards are getting better. We getting glasses. Y'all seen the glasses that I think Google made, right? Because you have Meta glasses, right? We know what the Meta glasses do, but have y'all seen the Google frames? Let's see real quick, chat. So Google glasses, let's see. There's supposed to be some Google glasses. We'll see if they come to fruition or if they're out or whatever the case is. But these glasses are supposed to like remember stuff for you. And I'm sure Meta will probably get to that point too where they're trying to compete. But what I mean by that is they're legit supposed to, like, for example, remember where you sat. Y'all seen that commercial or how they advertise and it's like, I want to say the HEY word, right? Because then my devices start going crazy. But Meta has that now, where it's like, oh, where did I sit my glasses? And they talk to you. And it says, you set your glasses on the kitchen counter because it remembers what you're doing because it's watching everything. Listen, if it's watching you that close, be careful what you do. But it could come in handy, right? You'd be like, hey, can you tell me my CVV off my debit card? I need to know it. And then John repeat it back to you. It's going to be a disaster if they get hacked, though. What Medicare beneficiary? Oh, hold up. Olive Garden's parent company is a buy despite a high valuation, says Goldman Sachs. Listen, if y'all want to support any restaurant, y'all know what restaurant I'm going to tell y'all to support? If y'all guess Red Lobster, oh, absolutely. I don't know if y'all have Red Lobster in y'all area, but that black CEO, yo, they coming out with commercials. They got seasoned boil bags and all kinds of stuff. I mean, listen, y'all want somebody to support. But listen, Olive Garden do got them, don't they be having endless breadsticks? Shout out to that. When they got them, they had firmware updates for reminders. That's clutch. It could get very scary. And that shit is like surveillance. Yeah. Yeah, that could absolutely get very scary, especially when the devices start tapping into each other. Because here's a hypothetical, right? Here's an absolutely hypothetical. So, but here's also an application where it could be clutch too. So many people have smart doorbells, right? Whether it be a Ring doorbell or whatever the case is, right? That's just one example. There is Google Nest, right? So Google basically pretty much owns Nest, and now it's a Google basically ecosystem of doorbells and stuff. If Google also supplies glasses, wouldn't we just assume that at some point they're going to start linking all this stuff together? So if I'm sitting here with Google glasses on, at some point they're going to let me be able to see my cameras through the glasses. I'm just assuming, because if I came up with it just now, I have to assume that all of those people who are much smarter than me, or all those people they're paying H-1B visas for, which is $100,000, by the way, chat, who they're basically recruiting from other countries to come up with ideas. I have to assume they've already thought about this. And if they didn't, listen, patent pending. Patent pending, Google. Cut me a check because you heard the idea here first. Google Glasses allow you to see your doorbells or your Nest cams or your Google cams from the glasses. Listen, if your research and development team didn't already come up with that, listen, reach out to True. You can find me at True Keyman on TikTok or on Twitch or Keyman on Instagram. You feel me? That was $1 billion idea, chat. What Medicare beneficiaries need to consider during open enrollment given the government shutdown? Listen, I'll tell you right now, what you need to consider is that Medicare and other insurance costs are skyrocketing. That is one of the reasons why there is not a bill signed today, because they're trying to figure out what they're going to do about healthcare. Do we absolutely shit on the little guy and make their healthcare costs 4 times as much, meaning for the same old prescriptions for their, I don't know, prescription Sudafed, which they were paying $12 for? Do we now make it $60? Do we drive premiums up for families from $400 a month to $1,200? That's basically part of what they're deciding, Chad. So, yeah. Pokemon sports trading card boom boosts Target, Walmart ahead of holiday season. Chat, when I show y'all some of the stuff I got later, y'all gonna be like, yo. Y'all gonna be like, yo. So I spent some time over with the Pokemon folks, because first of all, the Pokemon folks had a whole dinner inside the hotel, and I was chatting some of those folks up while they were at the hotel, just because we were laughing at how expensive the Pokemon cards were in the hotel vending machine, which they completely were price gouging. So they were the ones that say, yo, make sure you stop by the Pokemon TCG, which I did. And I learned how to play Pokemon TCG if you weren't watching live, right? And we got hella Pokemon stuff here. But one of the things I did gift it, I'll give y'all a little up front. I was at the stand where they were selling the what's it called, chat? The graded cards, right? So the minted cards. And they had a holographic Blastoise. It's huge. It's like the size of an iPad. And they gifted me one, chat. They gifted me one. Shout out to Pokemon. But to give y'all an idea, literally the card is like this big. I'm going to show y'all that later amongst all the other swag that I got. So yeah, shout out to Pokemon. I did grab a couple of graded cards. There is a person that I want to send some Pokemon stuff to. I know for a fact they're probably not in here, but I'm going to reach out to that person and try to see if I can get some Pokemon stuff to them. So shout out to that. All right, so this ETF strategy could help risk-averse investors ride out wild market swings. Listen, without reading this chat, I'm just going to assume the strategy is just invest in an ETF. They're already diversified. And I showed y'all how to find ETFs before. One of the ways is you can actually just drop to the bottom of this page and they'll have different things for you. But I told you about the website, etfdb.com, right? So again, back to that headline, right? This ETF strategy could help risk-averse investors. Really, all you have to do is go to etfdb.com and scroll to the bottom, and it'll have a section that says popular ETFs, or you can go to ETFs by geography, by issuer, by type. You can screen ETFs, but anything you want to look at. Real estate, healthcare, which is a big thing that's happening, right? Marijuana, right? Travel, technology, blockchain, it doesn't matter. The ETFs right here, they're already diversified. You can go to the cheapest ETFs, largest, like, come on, chat. What are we talking about? You don't need an article. I'll give you the information right there. There you go, etfdb.com. Find out everything you need to know about ETFs. Why Trump's 100% move tariff threat could hit Britain particularly hard. Okay. We do a lot of imports. We do a lot of exports. Anytime the 100% tariff is imposed or a large tariff percentage, it's going to affect people. And don't be fooled, chat. It's going to affect the United States just as much. We're almost at the end of our list, chat. Here are 3 big things we're watching in the stock market this week. They have a picture of Capital One. So I'm just going to assume bank earnings, right? The best and worst months to buy a house. Listen, the best and worst months to buy a house, I'm going to make an assumption without reading the article, is the warmest month is the worst. The best is the coldest or the rainiest. One, because first of all, your inspector will be able to identify if there's any leaks or anything happening with the house, or if there's any leakage in like the windows, doors, etc. But also it's good because everybody ain't about to be on the road while it's snowing and while it's cold looking at no houses. But if you go in the middle of the summer, oh yeah, people are going to have on their summer fits. They're going to put that shit on. They're going to hop in their car that they probably got cleaned, and they're going to go house hunting. And they're going to go to many houses in one day. Why wouldn't they do that in the summer, right? Why would they want to track snow and mud into a house they potentially buy? Come on now. Companies are blaming AI for job cuts, critics say. It's an easy excuse. Of course, it's easy to blame AI for job cuts. But AI is also making things really convenient as well. Right, chat? I mean, I think so. I absolutely think so. So one thing I do want to show you guys, and hopefully this goes well, because we're still getting back to our normal streaming schedule, and y'all know your boy True is still a 9-to-5 worker, so I gotta get to work. But before I do, one thing we gotta bring up something new each time, right? Earnings whispers, right? Earnings whispers, chat. Earnings whispers. I'm gonna drop that in the chat. We're gonna pin that. The earnings whispers, chat. What is this? What the heck is earnings whispers? Well, Earnings Whispers is an earnings calendar. I showed y'all multiple other ways you can bring up earnings calendars as well. If y'all need a reminder, you can go to Yahoo Finance, which is one of our favorite, right? And you can go here, right? And you can go see all these headlines here, my portfolio, news, markets, blah, 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 blah. If you research, or if you go to news, you see under news, they have earnings, or if you go under research, they have calendar. You can click on earnings and it'll bring up your earnings calendar. 36 today, 78 tomorrow, 136 on Wednesday, 160 on Thursday. Going crazy. Going crazy. Absolutely a lot of earnings this week. It's earnings season, chat. But here, Earnings Whispers gives you the similar information. It's just, you know, we like to see stuff that's pleasing to the eyes, right? This list isn't necessarily going to be pleasing to your eyes, right? It gives you the information you need without all the bells and whistles and thrills and all that, right? So you have your information, but here, sometimes a little easier. So you have your companies, you can even put them in alphabetical order. You can put in you can sort it by estimates. You can have a list view. So sometimes when you see the actual company icon, it makes it a little easy too, right? You may be able to identify a company's logo really quick. So there goes Zion, right, that they were talking about in one of the articles earlier. They have earnings. Right, chat? You got 3M, see that? GE, Coca-Cola, right? See how some of them you can just identify really quickly just by their logo. Netflix, Texas Instruments, right? And this is just looking at the logos. It's not even looking at the names. So maybe you guys seen some logos as well. But this is Earnings Whispers. So this is a good way to look at the information. You can go to the calendar. You can see what earnings are happening. And if you do it in a regular view, you can actually get an estimate of like, what are the expectations, right? What are the expectations? So this is good. Become familiar with this. You can get like a month view. They have, I'm not signed in, but they have really cool, like different visuals and stuff. I really like them for their visuals. So definitely make sure you check them out. They have really cool visuals in my opinion, chat. So yeah, so that is the new thing for y'all. It's just the earnings calendar. We are earnings season. So hopefully that was some good information for y'all. Shout out to all of y'all. Before we go, I'm just going to do one last thing because y'all know we're going to go back and forth talking about TwitchCon. You know we are. But let me bring up my Instagram real quick. So just so y'all can see some of the greatness that happened. Cali, I don't know if Cali is here or lurking or whatever, but Cali Storm. I should have got a picture with Cali Storm. I'm going to take a picture because we ran into each other a few times during the TwitchCon. So I know she's going to appear on my VODs. I appreciate that, Kay. So it wasn't too deep in detail today just because I'm still on cloud 9 from TwitchCon, but I did want to at least make sure we touched on some financial information. So if y'all take away anything from what you guys got, listen, the biggest things you guys need to pay attention to is the government shutdown news, right? You can pay attention to the lawsuit between Elon Musk and Tim Cook. Y'all can pay attention to that. But you definitely have to pay attention to the government shutdown news, and you have to pay attention to other things that were brought up as well, such as this Amazon Web Services situation. Real quick, real quick. Just like Apple be saying, one more thing. You know how they say one more thing when they're doing their when they're showing their products? Let's go to Amazon. And let's see if we're getting hustled a little bit. Shout out to Amazon, by the way. I would love to be an Amazon partner or sponsor. Let's see when Amazon earnings is. Oh, look at this, chat. Earnings date, October 30th. That is very soon. This is why I pointed out the earnings calendar. Because some of these companies you have to pay attention to, right? Because look, is it a coincidence or is it not a coincidence? Not making no judgment, making just an observation. Queso, would you say this is coincidental or not that they're saying, oh, Amazon Web Service outage hits major websites? Fear mongering. Oh, it's also not letting people check in for their flights. This is like putting fear into people's minds, right? While they're approaching earnings? We're going to watch you today, Amazon. We're going to watch you today, right? We're going to watch you because these headlines mean things, right? We have to read the full article to get a deeper understanding of what they're talking about. But that's why I say be careful if you're an advanced trader. Be careful trying to play earnings because earnings will also play you. You feel me? But real quick before we go, and then of course y'all got to indulge me. We want to raid out. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's me with your boy Agent. Shout out to Pay in the building. Shout out to Pay in the building. Listen, y'all make sure y'all tap in with the guy. Hey, let's go. Listen, chat. I do have some good news and some also not so good news. Listen, real quick, turn up. Shout out to the boy Pay. The good news is when I was at TwitchCon, I went directly to El Gato. Y'all see El Gato right behind us. I went to El Gato and I talked to the representatives because I wanted more details about this whole November 15th thing. I told y'all before, El Gato Marketplace is changing on November 15th, so it's going to affect your sounds and your music. El Gato representative told me, listen, your sounds should be cool. They didn't guarantee, but they say your sound should be cool. Your music, you may have to change your music. Because I told them, I said I use music for my intro and my outro, and I use sounds for people when they come in my chat and all that stuff. So listen, if you got a sound on a soundboard already, then listen, we may be straight. You may be able to keep your sound. If it's music, it may go away. So we're going to still wait to see what happens. They beat the game. Shout out to them beating the game. It only took 29 hours. They was definitely, listen, and then you're going to have to go to what? You're going to have to go to, what's the new one? Resident Evil Requiem? They're going to throw you right back in the game. But fire that. Fire. Shout out to the watch streak. Listen, so that's me and Agent. Shout out to Agent. That's me and the Hollow Knight. Right? Just showing you some of the Resident Evil 6 is next. Yeah, they had a whole section for Resident Evil at TwitchCon. Then they were showing the Requiem, and they had a whole Resident Evil walkthrough experience too. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Mandalorian. Yo, I'm gonna clip that footage. WAP was doing hella clipping. I got some stuff for WAP, but there's a footage of when we first saw the Mandalorian coming down the escalator, and I said, yo, that's a fire costume. And his voice came out, bro. And all you heard is everybody say, oh shit. Because his voice was the exact Mandalorian voice. It's crazy. Right? That's me as Kappa. Me with Deshae. Me and Deshae had a good conversation. We had a good conversation. Shout out to Deshae. His chat was trolling me a little bit because you know me. I always like to manifest things. So when I was talking to him, I said, "Yeah, we got about 4,000 people in the chat right now." So they wanted some of his loyal followers had to fact check and was like, "Bro, he got 4 people." Yes, we know we have 4 people. If I had 4,000 people in my chat, I would be considered a big streamer, and would I be asking? No shade to the shade, but would I be asking other people for advice? If I'm averaging 4,000 people in my chat, I got the advice. I'm the one that should be giving out advice. Come on now. Of course I ain't have 4,000 people. But shout out to Deshae. He a cool dude, man, and he be doing his thing. Content creator. We also saw Nina Daddy. Nina Daddy I just love her. Because she's absolutely herself. They were pissing her off at one point at TwitchCon because of something. I won't get into that, but Nina Daddy is the GOAT. Shout out to Nina Daddy. I just love how real she is. She is funny as fuck. Barbie Sky. Barbie Sky, I'm gonna have to show y'all this video because I saw she made this video and I was like, yo, Barbie Sky, she gotta be trolling. Hold up, let me see if I can. Let me see. Hold up, let me show y'all this video real quick. Let me show y'all this video real quick. Hold up. Shout out to Barbie. She is very much a very down to earth person, but this had me dying. Her walking around.
They know you.
Do you know me? You know me?
Sean! You found me!
Look at Barbie walking away like, damn, nobody want a picture of me.
That's Kate Birthdays! They know you.
Shout out to Barbie though. Yeah, so we had a picture with Barbie. We was chatting with Barbie too because I had to let her know like, yo, you know what I was actually shocked about? I was shocked at how many people actually knew who I was. Listen, chat, if y'all be lurking on people's pages, especially some bigger streamers or people y'all consider larger streamers, don't think they don't pay attention. Because it was people and I was like, I'm so-and-so. Some people, even before I say who I was, they knew who I was, even though they never have said anything in the chat or anything like that, just because I be supporting their page or I be lurking. And then some people, when I said my name, knew instantly who I was. So I would say Leilani, who's a very cool individual. And I was so glad I got to hang out with her. But she was one of the people that recognized me when I said my name. So shout out to Leilani. And we've rated Leilani before as well. So shout out to that. Shout out to Deadpool and Wolverine. Two very funny characters. Obviously, it's not the real Deadpool and Wolverine because that would be insane. And I probably would have followed them around all night. Like, yo, Hugh Jackman, bro, come on now. But that was Zoltrox and your boy Jamada and Mac Daddy Uwus. Listen, Kai Uwus is a funny ass person. I watch her streams too, but just talking to her in person is a whole different vibe, man. A whole different vibe. Shout out to Kai Uwus, or as she will now be known as Mac Daddy Uwus. And here's a picture of her with my camera woman as well. Shout out to my camera woman. I'm going to give her all the props and all the respect because she did her absolute thing. That was our longest stream ever, chat. Friday, 12 hours. Saturday, 10 hours. Shout out to the boy Malik. Y'all saw him on Mafiathon 3. The boy was going crazy all night, but he was at TwitchCon. He was walking around. He was doing his thing. He was at the block party. He was going absolutely crazy. Shout out to the boy. Shout out to Senna. I gave y'all the story about Senna earlier. Here's a picture of me right there with Senna's dad. Like I told y'all, that was that story I told you was a real story. I did not rush her, and he was the one who introduced me to Senna. That is her dad. Cool ass dude. Bruh, his vibe is just insane. Like, I know everybody loves Senna. We all love Senna because she be doing her thing on the streams. She's huge. But her dad, man, he's such a vibe, bruh. He's such a vibe. And then, of course, as I'll call him, listen, he hasn't confirmed this, but my new bestie. Shout out to Trey Smith. Shout out to Trey Smith. I won't tell y'all about the interaction we had the day before the block party, but that led to a lot of cool moments during the block party. And Trey or Izzy or anybody, if you're listening, hold up. I got to give the other person a shout out too. Hold on. I don't know his name by heart yet, but hold up. Shout out to my guy, Andrew Lee as well. Listen, Trey, we're going to do that collab. Trey said he's going to basically beat my ass in Fortnite. And I believe him because I'm trash, but I be getting some W's. But I really just want the conversation with Trey. If y'all don't know who Trey Smith is, definitely look him up. Trey Smith, his session, I had to catch his session. I absolutely had to catch his DJ session, but he went absolutely ham on his DJ segment, and those beat drops, chat. He's a menace with the beat drops. He's a menace, bro. He's a menace. He's a menace, chat. That's my guy. But one day we're gonna tap in, and you know we're gonna have a good little chat, and we're gonna have to run that. We're gonna have to run that Fortnite. There's a lot of people like, yo, we gotta run it. We gotta run the game in. So yeah, I just had to show you that. That's some of the stuff. And now I gotta go through a lot of my VODs and a lot of my other stuff and actually lock in because I gotta do some clips. I gotta get the clips in. Got to get the clips in, got to capture some photos, some good moments that I knew I felt good about. We had some good times with some quote unquote smaller streamers. So we'll definitely tap into that as well. So shout out to all of y'all being here today. I appreciate y'all for sure. But one last favor, because we're going to tap in again and we're going to use what we learned and we're going to keep talking about this. We're going to use what we learned and all the people and the connections we made to absolutely run it up and to improve. Because y'all know what we do here. We're going from zero to hero, and we got to run it up, chat. It's our duty. But y'all indulge me while we raid out because your boy do got to get to work. Shout out again to Trinity J for her birthday. Listen, if y'all going to celebrate today, make sure y'all think about Trinity J. Make sure y'all get that birthday cake.
You dealing with an eater here.
Eat that birthday cake, chat.
A big eater.
Shout out to the girl. Listen, indulge me while we raid out, chat. Y'all already know the vibe. Let's go. Y'all already know the vibe, chat. Y'all already know. What is up with Twitch today? All these, listen, we gotta do it. I think, listen, I know we normally go about it a certain way, but today, chat, we absolutely, hold up. Hold on, chat. Give me a second. We're gonna rate out. I think Twitch is acting crazy. But let's get it done. Chat. Let's get it done. We gotta show some absolute love for her birthday. We got to. And y'all turn up. Emote. We coming to you, Trinity J. No. Hold up. Pause. No. Are we saying no? You're not live? Oh, Twitch definitely stream. They definitely tripping then. Because we about to turn up for your birthday. Listen, okay. All right, well, because this, all right, so maybe it's showing, okay. No worries. Always about to turn up, chat. We was about to turn up. Let's confirm somebody's live before we raid them. Let's confirm somebody's live. Cause we gotta support the folks. Twitch acting crazy then. Twitch is acting crazy. All right. Let's see. Hold up. Let's see. There's an internet outage. Oh. Okay, hold up. YZ and Ice just popped up. Oh, okay. Well, YZ just popped up. Let's see if it'll let us raid YZ then. I didn't hear about. Oh, what? Yeah, I heard about it. The Amazon Web Services. I just told everybody about it too, right? Hold up. Where YZ just go? It's working for some people. Hey, it's working for me right now, I guess. I got that fiber optic internet, chat. If you know, you know. All right, well, we're gonna run to YZ. YZ seem to be up and running. We're gonna go show YZ some love. Ice is an overnight streamer, so we're in the daytime. So we're gonna go to YZ this time. Shout out to Ice though. Ice was definitely supporting all weekend. Hey, listen, when you're ready, we just gonna come show up. We ain't even gotta come through in a raid, but we're gonna come through when you get ready. Cause today's your birthday. Shout out to Speezy. Pro Speezy for the follow. You already know. Listen, if I had all the sounds that Trent got, listen. Shout out to Speezy though. Shout out to Speezy. We're gonna raid YZ. Let's get it done, chat. Let's get it done this time. What's good, Speezy? We about to raid out, but appreciate you coming through, showing love. Y'all make sure y'all go support Speezy too. Listen, yeah, I'm raiding out. What you about to raid me with 1,000 people? I know. I be just doing the real quick, so a little something slight. Appreciate you coming through. I don't like to talk people head off too long. Hey, we can still support you though. You know what I'm saying? It's all love. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know the vibes. Y'all know the vibes, chat. Appreciate all the love. And again, shout out to that girl, Trinity J. Listen, I hope y'all clip me singing happy birthday. If not, I'm going to clip it myself and post it. I'm going to tag her on all socials, chat. But y'all make sure, listen, yeah, we can run that freestyle. What you talking about? But yeah, I got to go. We're going to tap in again later. Again, appreciate you, Speezy. Appreciate you, Queso, for the raid. All that, all the subs and everything y'all did today, man. It's nothing but love. Nothing but love. Let's go.